So you have a coaching or hypnosis client and you really want to get to the root cause of their issues fast because you truly want to help your clients, right? And so how do you get to this root cause as fast as you can? Well, today I'm going to first talk about what to not to do and then what skill that you really want to work on and commit to working on because it's a skill set. So it's always going to be a work in progress so that your client breakthroughs become faster and faster. And because of this, not only will your clients love you for helping them solve their problem fast, but it also allows you to do things in your business, such as charge more for your services because you are a badass and you can create epic client results fast. And so, this is what you do not want to do when you go into investigating the root cause. You want to stop this right now. Stop assuming that you know the root cause of your client's issues. Let me give you an example. So, I was trained in a modality where we were told that a lot of our issues came from a stemming feeling of not feeling good enough, which makes sense, right? It makes sense that if we feel not good enough, then it really holds us back. And a lot of us say this, right? A lot of us have this running story in our minds that, well, what if we're not good enough for this, for that, for those things, and all of the things? So it kind of makes sense as to why the conclusion would be there as to like the actual root is not feeling good enough. But let me challenge your thinking here. What if it's not the actual root cause? What if not good enough or insert XYZ root cause is not the root cause? Because truth of the matter is something like feeling not good enough is a symptom still, right? We know as coaches and hypnotists that our clients come to us experiencing symptoms. They're experiencing symptoms of the problem. So, for example, a client comes to you and they say, I don't feel good enough to market my business. That's not like that's just a symptom. That is what they're experiencing right now. There is a reason as to why they feel not good enough to market their business. It's kind of like, when I was a nurse and I worked in the emergency department, someone comes to me and says, I am short of breath. Okay, well, there's a reason why you're short of breath, and we are here in the emergency department to know exactly what is causing your shortness of breath, right? It's a symptom, and it's not the real problem, or it's not the root cause. That shortness of breath could be a pneumonia, it could be COPD, it could be cancer, right? It could be anything. And to just say, okay, like your diagnosis of short of breath is not really going to help that patient because when we know that it is a pneumonia, it's going to be a different treatment than if it were to be like something like COPD, right? Where you would need things like puffers or steroids and maybe oxygen and stuff like that. So, knowing what the root is very helpful because if you don't know what that root is, how are you going to know, or how is your client's mind going to know exactly how to get rid of the problem, right? How to solve it, how to shift it. And so you do not want to be doing all the assumptions because me assuming someone else's root cause is highly inaccurate and not really a good thing to do because how do I know? Like, how do I know for sure that a client's root cause is not feeling good enough? It could be different. And like I said, not good enough is like a symptom here. There's an actual deep reason as to why they feel that way. So never assume because there's going to be a deep layer, and each and every person, even though each person has their own feelings of not good enough, each of us have a different reason as to why we don't feel good enough, right? And so that is the one thing that you want to stop doing right now, because I assure you that if you stop doing that, and just become curious as to why your clients are actually experiencing the symptoms that they're experiencing, that your client breakthroughs are going to be much faster because your confirmation bias isn't what's steering the sessions, and instead it's curiosity and it's going to be more client focused. And so how do you actually actually get to the root cause the fastest? Well, I kind of mentioned this already, right? First of all, you want to be curious instead of assuming that you know better, which is not a good thing and a good place to be as a coach or hypnotist. That is a codependent pattern. You want to break that shit. You know, what you want to do is just be curious. Just be curious as to why they're having a problem and ask your clients questions about the problem. Because by asking them questions, by investigating the problem, you are going to directly start digging towards that root cause. That just makes sense, right? Instead of having an agenda here where I think it's going to be because my client doesn't feel good enough, you're going here. Meanwhile, you need to be digging deep over here. It may be that the good enough, not good enough is over here, but you're not really 100% sure. And if you start steering it this way, you're going here instead of here, right? That is, one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself and your clients, just to stop, ask them question. And this is exactly what we focused on in the ACH trainings, right? It's 2 days directed on the investigation phase because it is so crucial to get to that root cause. And I thought that I was getting the root cause, but I was highly mistaken because, the previous modality I was trained in was just like, see if it's not good enough, right? And I was unknowingly steering the direction of the session into not the right direction the whole time. I was actually telling my clients what to do, which is a big no-no anyway in coaching and in hypnotherapy, right? Anyway, here's the thing: when you investigate, when you ask the client a question about their problem, why are you not open to, or why do you not feel good enough with marketing your business? When you ask that question, they receive it. They now, in order to answer that question, have to go where? Unconsciously. They have to go unconsciously to search for that answer, right? And so when they go unconsciously and feed it back to you, based on their answer to your question, you are now going to formulate another question based on that answer. And that question is going to trigger their unconscious, to trigger them to go to their unconscious again to find the next answer. And like 10 to 20 questions later, they've already gone back to their unconscious 20 times to retrieve that information, which creates the actual hypnotic trance anyway, right? The better you get at getting unconscious information instead of conscious information too, which is another thing we work on inside the next ACH training, going and focusing on the unconscious information, looking back and searching for those things. They come back to you with unconscious information, and that unconscious information is the key to client breakthroughs, is the key to root cause, right? The reason why our clients and even ourselves, we have our problem is because there is still something unconscious that we're hiding, that we don't know about, that we don't know yet, that it hasn't been revealed to us yet. That is the actual thing that we need in order for us to break through the problem. And so by answering your clients' questions, or by asking your clients the questions, they go deeper into their unconscious, let's say, and then they start to actually reveal what the true problem is. Because when you do, um, the results are just going to be mind blowing. So let me give you an example, an actual personal example. This was actually filmed in my mentor's training, where my problem was marketing my business, right? They asked me questions, got deeper. It got deeper to, well, I actually don't believe in myself, right? That was one of the thing. It wasn't that, and my words, my particular words, personally, I actually don't use the word good enough. Like, it's just something that I don't use. I use words. My lingo is more, I just don't believe in myself. I don't believe that I can do it. And that came up in the session when we were talking about marketing. And then it got to the deep layer of, yeah, no, I don't believe in myself. It's not the marketing. And then we got to another layer deeper where I said, I'm just afraid of my own power. That's what I said. That is very unconscious information. I did not know where that came from. It was a complete unconscious thing. And when I voiced that out loud and I just said, I'm just afraid of my own power, that is pure unconscious information. That is something that I don't just say every single time. Like, it was completely unconscious for me. I didn't know that that was that was what my fear was, that I was just afraid that I was truly powerful. So I suppressed it by just not believing in myself, because that power is too powerful for me to even um wrap my mind around, right? Um, Fascinating stuff. Though these are the things you want to look for. These are the type of root cause things that you want to look for, because then it becomes more, once that is out, your client's rewiring thought process is never ever going to be the same. When that was revealed to me that I was scared of my own true power, I never looked at myself the same way again. My I'm not the same person as I was back then. I'm different. I behave differently because of that one tiny breakthrough. And so this and that I got to that place just by them asking me questions, right? And so that's how you get really, really good at discovering your client's root cause, by asking them questions. And so if this is a skill set that you want to develop, this skill set is actually going to be taught in the next 2 days ACH training. Information about the next ACH training will be in the description below. Otherwise, I will see you around. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope to see you soon.